I realized about 60 seconds before I turned this video on that I probably should have at least sketched my notes out a little better, but I also know that one of the ways I tend to cope with my anxiety is over planning, worried about every detail. Everything has to be perfect before I can do it. So instead of letting myself do that, I'm just going to make the video instead. This assignment is kind of where I fell apart this semester. The readings up until this point, and then reading through Thompson's first part of the book, I realized that, all the things that my therapist and I have been working on the last year and a half, I couldn't disassociate from them anymore, because almost every behavioral pattern I have is a manifestation of stress and anxiety. I was a ticking time bomb for a really long time. And the bomb blew. And I was in a pretty rough place there for a while, but over this last year, one of the things that I've learned is to slow down enough to listen to my body. And what I've found is that stress tends to manifest in every way we allow it. Like even now, sitting here, I'm anxious, and I can feel the tension build up in my shoulders, especially at the very bottom of my shoulder blades, like right there between my shoulder blades and my spine. My throat gets, not right now necessarily, but my throat gets tight, my chest gets tight, my breathing pattern changes. I actually don't breathe fast, I hold my breath. I'll literally talk and sit, and my mind's going a million miles a minute, and I realize that I haven't been breathing at all, and suddenly I feel panic, but I feel panic because I was trying to suffocate myself. But one thing that I've really worked hard on, especially these last few months, is being able to identify the stress in the moment. And one of the crazy things, I think, is that, when we think about completing steps, we think about, yep, I'm going to do that and I'm going to check the box. But the hard part is that you learn to recognize those indicators that let you know that you're manifesting that stress in your body. I can feel the tension in my shoulders. What you don't realize is that really messy work of going from being able to identify it to being able to head it off before it hits. But you practice. You can't fix it overnight, but you learn ways of reassociating those moments that tend to bring anxiety or stress, and instead we start to associate them with healthier emotions, processing through, why does this situation trigger those types of emotions? What is it about this that reminds me of something that's happened, that's taken me back to a space where I felt like this before? And how do we retrain our brain? How do we retrain our brain? keep from experiencing that paralyzing anxiety. Tackle the hard things, even if this hard thing of making a video about the impact of stress doesn't feel big to everybody. Anxiety can make everything feel big. But we take it one day at a time and try to do better today than we did yesterday. And eventually we can look back and see how far we've come and realize it wasn't easy and it was messy and it was hard. But it was worth it. Thanks.